is! Get him now!
I remember the sound first. Not the screams, not the drums, not the cries of men begging for mercy. The rain. For as long as I can remember, the jungle had been alive. Every tree spoke. Every river carried stories. Every shadow carried a warning. But on that night, something was different. The birds were silent. The animals had vanished. Even the wind seemed afraid to move through the trees. The jungle knew something was coming. Something terrible. And somehow, I was already part of it. I ran through the darkness with mud on my skin and blood on my hands. Behind me, torchlight danced between the trees. Hunters, warriors, men I had once called brothers. The Empire had sent them, not to question me, not to judge me, to erase me. Because I had seen something I was never meant to see. Something hidden beneath stone and tradition. Something buried beneath generations of fear. It began at the temple, the heart of our world. The place where priests spoke for the gods. The place where kings claimed their power. We were taught that the temple protected us. We were taught that sacrifice preserved balance. We were taught that obedience brought peace. We believed it. All of us, including me, until I entered the darkness beneath those sacred stones. At first I saw only shadows, then bones, thousands of them, stacked upon one another like forgotten memories. Men, women, children, entire lives reduced to silence. The deeper I looked, the worse it became. The truth was waiting there, patient, hidden, terrible. And once I saw it, I could never unsee it. That was the moment everything changed. That was the moment I stopped fearing the gods and started fearing the people who claimed to speak for them. I carried that truth to Elder Tovar, the wisest man in our tribe. If anyone could explain what I had found, it was him. But when he looked at me, I saw something I had never seen before. Fear. Not confusion. Not disbelief. Fear. The old man already knew. Perhaps he had known for years. Perhaps he had spent his entire life carrying the burden of that secret. When I finished speaking, he said nothing. His silence told me more than words ever could. Then the horn sounded. Low, distant, ancient. The sound rolled through the jungle like thunder. The hunters had found us, and they had brought Commander Vakar, the Emperor's shadow. A warrior whose name was spoken in whispers. A man who believed mercy was weakness. A man who had spent his life serving a dying empire without realizing it. I watched him emerge from the rain. Calm, patient, certain. As though the outcome had already been decided. As though fate itself walked beside him. He offered me one final chance to surrender. I refused. And then I ran. The jungle became a battlefield. Branches tore at my skin. Arrows sliced through the air. Traps hidden by generations of hunters awakened beneath the storm. Men screamed. Spears shattered. The forest fought beside me. Yet no matter how far I ran, Vakar remained behind me. Closer. Closer. Always closer. Some men chase because they are ordered to. Others chase because they enjoy it. Vakar chased because he could not imagine failure. That made him dangerous. but even dangerous men cannot outrun destiny. Then I saw the fire. At first I thought lightning had struck the city. Then I saw the smoke, then the flames, then the panic. The Empire was burning. The temples that had stood for generations were collapsing. The streets were filled with fear. Everything we believed was eternal was falling apart before our eyes. For the first time since I had known him, Vakar stopped. For the first time, uncertainty touched his face. The empire he worshipped was dying, and somewhere deep inside him, he knew it. Still, the hunt continued, until the jungle ended, until stone gave way to cliffs, until there was nowhere left to run. The sea stretched endlessly before me. The Empire stood behind me. Death waited on both sides. Vakar asked me why I betrayed my people. I looked at him. Then I looked at the burning horizon. And finally, I understood. I had never betrayed my people. The Empire had betrayed all of us. Long before either of us were born. Long before our fathers. Long before their fathers. We were not protected. We were consumed. Then something appeared beyond the waves. At first it was only a shadow. Then another. Then another. Massive shapes emerging from the fog. The warriors fell silent. The storm seemed to hold its breath. Even the ocean felt still. Ships, unlike anything we had ever seen, carrying strangers from another world. In that moment, every man standing on that cliff understood the same thing. The age we knew was ending. A new one was beginning. And none of us could stop it. Not the priests, not the emperor, not even Vakar. History had already chosen its path. The storm roared around us. The waves crashed below. Vakar raised his blade. Yet I felt no fear. Only clarity. Only freedom. The Empire was ending. The future was arriving. And for the first time in my life, I belonged to neither. I took one final step backward, into darkness, into the sea, into legend. Some endings become stories. Some stories become myths. And some myths survive long after kingdoms have fallen. This is the story of the last tribe.